and welcome to What's Up Punks, where we take a look at the myriad subgenres underneath the umbrella of punk. Today we're taking a look at Seapunk. Let's boot up the laptop on the beach and make merry the sounds of the network. Another first tier, our first genre that's a music genre. I know, right? I'm surprised too. I thought for sure the randomizer would spit out Afro or Electropunk before now. What is Seapunk? A music genre associated with an aquatic themed fashion, 3D net art, iconography that alludes to the pop culture of the 90s.
In the early 1990s, for a brief, shining moment, there was a beautiful union of form and function, which we call the jet ski.
Including dolphins, pyramids, bright colors, beach scenes, dreamscapes, malls covered in lush plants, and water accents like fountains. The music often incorporates ocean sounds and electronic beats. Rave, R&B, and dance music constitutes major elements of the Seapunk sound. There's also an undercurrent of spookiness that comes from the 2000s mall goth scene, and part of the ocean that sunlight can't reach, where the truly bizarre life resides. Although that aspect of Seapunk is downplayed compared to, say, Witch House. Lyrical topics include dancing, partying, hooking up, and the ocean. Always the ocean. Seapunk was extremely popular in the early 2010s. Getting its hooks into the Chicago music scene, it's often saddled with spinning out of cyberpunk. Which is true. Kinda. It's weird. Grab me a Werther's original, the old man's about to talk about the old net, and cyberpunk's insane relationship with pop culture. As every time I crack open the cyberpunk chestnut, I'll expand more on it when I actually get to it. First, the old net. Unlike the dark future timeline, no
Race Bartmoss
for you to crash the system, getting replaced by the new system, which was the old model with more corpo gov control. Our timeline, it was a bit more insidious, with us gradually giving away our freedom. Talking to you, insert any user-created platform, here, go yourself. However, in the old net, when the free exchange of ideas, music, fan creation, and of course porn was untethered, cyberpunks basically appropriated damn well anything we please. Was it perfect? Hell no, it was a lot harder to get the signal out. But it was freedom. Best fictional example would be Night City's infestation of poser gangs. I'll let the man that killed your character explain.
Back in the day, Night City had hundreds of what were called poser gangs. That's a gang where all the members get surgery to look alike, or they get it on some theme like characters from an old TV show, or dead presidents. The bozos were biosculpted to look like circus clowns.
Okay, so why the tongue waggling? Context. Because on face value, Seapunk seems like what its detractors called it. A meme that spiraled out of control. It's not. It's a genre, a punk genre, and a cyberpunk offshoot, putting it right in my crosshairs. It was born from the net, specifically Twitter, but it got its foothold in Tumblr. From the lyrical profile, enjoyable nihilism is a go. Unlike Cyber, it's not about the future of what the net could create, it's an homage to what the net is in its early days. Depending on the song, enjoyable nostalgia or uncomfortable nostalgia. Technology. This thing called a computer, a program that makes music, sounds of the ocean, music samples, beatbox, a soundboard. Yeah, no. I barely understand how a guitar works. That's a lie, it's all witchcraft to me. Skip! Aesthetic. Usually a lot of Seapunk visuals were inspired by Lisa Frank aquatic art, both in color and subject. A lot of early CGI water effects, ocean scenes, and old school video games were brought into the mix to really highlight the 90ness of the aesthetic. Vibrant depictions of water, both surface and submerged. Seapunk is also very holosexual in both the aesthetic and fashion, generally using nautical aquatic imagery such as marine life and palm trees composed of pastels and neon colors. Primarily variations of cyan, teal, lavender, and pink, and containing symbols prominent in the 2000s, such as yin-yang symbols and smiley faces. Also circle lens sunglasses, the best sunglasses, pastel goth influences, pastel colored hair, usually some form of ocean color, but not just that, and vibrant lip and nail colors. Music profile aesthetic? There is absolutely no way that's the correct terminology, but I'm punching so far outside my weight class, I don't care. Youth. Honestly. This totally feels like something that would play when hanging out with your friends when you're young, carefree, or at night when you're sitting on the sand looking at the dark, bottomless ocean swallowing up the shore, just like how the troubles of life seem like they're trying to swallow you whole. Where did Seapunk start? The term Seapunk was coined by a Brooklyn-based DJ at Lil Internet. He claims the term came to him in a surreal dream, which he tweeted to his followers in June 2011. A loose-knit group of Twitter users began frequently tweeting #Seapunk jokes back and forth to each other. Crab earrings, fishnet, smoking, seaweed, etc. And then the cyberpunk elements started entering the picture. Ultradema forms a secret Seapunk Facebook group and invites the crew. September 2011, Super magazine in London has been listening in and participating in the conversation both via Twitter and Facebook. Feeling the love, they published the first print Seapunk article, immortalizing the core original group. The Internet, the Government, Unicorn Kid, Ultradema, Zambella. The article is more explorative than definitive. The piece includes water graphics of shipwrecked mermaid masks, bits of good humored philosophy, and an essential listening track that includes the lift, random trance, and putting your ear to a seashell. In the fall, this magazine asks, what is Seapunk? Despite various and increasingly conflicting answers, the universal consciousness is tuning in. Soulja Boy is rapping his own ocean gang with aquatic raps like Came Out of the Ocean, also tweeting both #Seapunk and #Splash. Seapunk tweets pop up on the likes of Azalea Banks, Venice X, Frank Chan, and Keyshawn. Even Gaga's hair is conspicuously turquoise. With that, Seapunk is alive and well on Tumblr, various blogs, and SoundCloud. A subgenre is born. My recommendations. Okay, before we begin, we all have a moment of prayer to the copybots. Oh, great cosmic horror that all on YouTube fear, be kind to this small channel, protected from the almighty wrath as we use snippets of music to inform and gain new listeners to the sound, as it is allowed under fair use. Amen. Okay, with that out of the way, Zambella and Mirakaba, sorry if I get that wrong, Bad Creation. Pretty basic Seapunk for dipping your toes into the genre. It's also very chill. Pick your recreational substance of choice, turn up, vibe out. Unicorn Kid, Boys of Paradise. This is the best Sega Genesis song that was never on the Sega Genesis. The music video is a great microcosm Seapunk set. If you just want to sit down and figure out what this is, watch this video, listen to this song. Ultra Demon Dolphin. It sounds very heavy. I know that sounds like a weird compliment, but it's not. Electronica, house music generally feels like I'm floating. Sometimes that's a good feeling. Other times I like to feel grounded, and sometimes going right through the asphalt. This never got that far, but it's nice to feel grounded. I also feel this is a good one just for the sound clips of Birds of Prey or Yaoja. Oh yeah, for those not to know, the Predator sounds like a bird. How do I feel about Seapunk? Conflicted, but I enjoyed it overall. If we get into Ice or Slime Punk, I'll probably repeat myself on this point, but here we go. When it comes to music, I like everything from classic rock to chiptune, but it's gotta... Oh, I'm also a massive dork, so anything that scratches that itch helps. It's gotta tell a story, or get you ready for a fight. I'm not one just to vibe out on a beach. Luckily, Seapunk has a platter of sounds for you to find something you might like. Some might need to smoke a bowl to get the full effect, but that's a lot of music. Sign out question. Is Seapunk dead, and did Rihanna kill it? Yes and no, and yes and no. Genres don't really die. Someone always comes along and blows on the embers. For example, this freaking show. Also, Seapunk was either reabsorbed or digivolved into Vaporwave. Yeah, I have conflicting reports on how that chicken and egg for Seapunk went. Extra question, if anyone knows, put that in the comments. Still, it exists, just not in the narrow form it had. As for the Rihanna thing, here's how the story, or at least the secondhand version, I heard it. On November 10th, 2012, Rihanna used a Seapunk-inspired background during her performance of Diamonds on SNL. Yeah, Tumblr and Twitter did what Tumblr and Twitter done do. Had two problems with this. One, they thought the performance ripped off the works of Jerome Lowell. And second, that Seapunk had gone mainstream at this point. To that to say no, and no. I'm not sure how this could be a rip-off of anything, but Seapunk as a whole, it's too generic to rip off anyone, and it's too clean to be Seapunk. It's just painfully boring. As for mainstream, also no, because Diamonds wasn't a Seapunk song, she didn't use any of the fashion cues, her background could easily have been her visual guy's screensaver he put on by mistake. However, the conversation had changed from Seapunk, or what is Seapunk, to gatekeeping Seapunk, and that killed the momentum, and it just never really recovered. That's my opinion. Put yours down in the comments and get a discussion going. This has been What's Up Punks. Till next time. But keep on being a no-good dirty punk. You know it, you love it, here's the spiel, let's do it. Hit subscribe to be my subscriber. Hit the bell so you know when I've actually posted stuff. Still no idea why those two things are separate now, but whatever. And of course, hit like to appease the algorithm gods. All fear and praise. On a list of whatever YouTubes, I am also probably not going to get any ad revenue for these videos, so if you would be so kind, check out that Patreon and the GoFundMe. Links in the description.